friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy on this Monday. And happy Monday morning to you all. I am going to be doing a quick half-hour show today because I have to go. I have to fly back to LA. I'm leaving to go to the airport. And I have so much anxiety and agita about it. It has been amazing, and I know how lucky I am that I was able to come home during this time, but it's also been really challenging and a lot of ups and downs. I'm going to talk a little bit about that today because you guys are my people, and I know that it's early, so I appreciate you guys waking up and joining me. If you are on the West Coast or if you're on the East Coast, maybe you're already midway through your day and you're taking your lunch break, or if you're on the over the pond coast, maybe it's nighttime for you, or maybe you're watching this in 6 years from now. Hello, it's me, Roxy from the past. Wow, is this my first time on air? Who knows? Google had a massive outage today, and it drove people wild. Google, obviously, meaning not only Google the search engine, but Google as in Gmail and Google as in YouTube, and it was nutso. So we're going to break that down a little bit as well. And then I saw this Hollywood Reporter article that was pretty sure it was just titled saying domestic box office hits a 40-year low, which I was like, oh, okay. And no shit, Sherlock news, but it is worth looking at. So we will be talking about that. Plus anything you guys want to talk about, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, or right here in the super chat. To all my people, you guys are welcome to submit any kind of questions, and we can break them down on the show today. Speaking of my people, let's go into some of the things that you guys are talking about right now. Tim Koscuba in the Streamlabs says, Rox, I'm so bummed at all that's going on in your social media. I know it bothers you, but just know for all the hate you've been getting, the rock stars will give you a spirit boom full of love to combat it. Have an amazingly happy Hanukkah, $1 per night. Oh, thank you so much, Tim. It's very, very sweet of you. Yeah, my social media has turned into like a stomping ground for anti-Semitism, and I don't even understand how it took place. I really don't even understand how it took place, but like the Jews have been hated for so many years. I guess it's not surprising, but it is upsetting. It is upsetting. I guess I can kind of leave it at that, because otherwise I'll just keep retreading old water, or retreading the same water, old water. What's the expression? Just over and over again, talking about how upsetting all the anti-Semitism is. So how long can I talk about that on this show for? I just don't feel like it right now, but I will continue to talk about it because I have to keep fighting the good fight, but it's just like exhausting. It's exhausting how many people are sending me symbols of hate and crooked hooks, and just, this is exhausting. It's exhausting trying to explain that in Western civilization, legally and technically and in the Webster's dictionary, that's what a swastika is called for us. It's exhausting. I'm fucking tired of being sent swastikas over and over again as a Jewish woman. Like, do what you're doing in your own place of worship, but like, seriously? Ugh, it's fucking exhausting. Happy Monday. And then when I get back, I got to hit the ground running and find a fucking apartment. So ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. So I'm going to continue working. But this is the last time you guys will see me here at my house here. So talking about that a little bit, one of the reasons that I came home was because we were actually clearing out the house. I had to go through all of my stuff and put things in boxes and figure out what it is that's going into storage or what I'm keeping, because we're pretty sure the house is going on the market. And it's my childhood home, and it's the home I grew up in, and it's also the home that my mom passed away in. And it's the home that I had my bat mitzvah in, and it's the home that my brother was married in, and it's the home that my dad grew up in. You know, this house has been in our family for 58 years. So a really, really long time. And yeah, it's just been hard. But on top of going through my stuff, I've been having to go through all my mom's stuff because we never touched it. We never moved it. And I know she died almost 10 years ago, but it's almost like a time capsule here. We just never did anything with any of her stuff. So I've just been going through everything, like so much stuff. And I didn't even get through everything, which I don't know whether I'm going to have to, I want to come back here, but I don't know what's going on with the pandemic and all that stuff. So whether it's like going through photos or diaries or home videos or clothes or jewelry or shoes or just like random trinkets of mine, of hers, my sister's, and just like doing so many things. And it's just been really, really fucking amazing to be back. And I'm so lucky. I haven't spent this much time at home in years, way over a decade, not way over a decade, but over a decade. And it's been incredible being here and like having somebody love me unconditionally and take care of me. And my dad's just being like so generous and supportive and sweet throughout the whole process and all of that. But it's definitely been emotionally draining and challenging and also fulfilling and all of those things. So it's been an interesting last 3.5 weeks. But I have to go back. I have to go back because I need to go find an apartment. I have to go back because I need to make sure that I sign the calendars, and I have to go back because I live in LA. And so you don't want to leave the place that you live for too long, and when it makes you start questioning your choices that you've already made, So I have to go back for all those reasons. It's also, we're about to get hit in Boston with a big storm, so I'm getting out at the perfect time. And yeah, it just kind of is what it is. Very, very tumultuous week. If you guys were on, World Girls last night, if you joined us for the wind down, also that yesterday my aunt died. So that was tough too. She got sick. She's been not very healthy for a long time, but she got really sick the day before Thanksgiving, and she went to the hospital, and they ended up finding out she had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And then last night, after being moved to hospice, she died. So it's just been a whirlwind of a little bit here, not to unload all of this on you guys in the early hours of the morning, but just a lot of stuff going on back east and a lot of things to be taken care of. So anyway, I am coming home today. You will officially see me doing all of my Live at the Roxy's back at that 1 p.m. time that I do starting tomorrow. And I will be doing, SEN tomorrow morning from there, everything from there, because I live in LA. But you'll only see me be streaming from my place for the next couple of weeks, maybe month, because I have to find a new apartment to live in. So I will keep you guys posted on that. A lot of stuff in the life of Rox. Anyway, moving forward, because I can't harp on it for too long, especially because I have to get out of here so I can get to the airport. Oh, the skin by my nail ripped last night, and it's so effing painful. Anybody who knows what that's like, it's so frustrating. Going into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Glenn Caesar says, hello, good morning, and happy Hanukkah, Roxy. Happy Hanukkah to all of you guys. Love you as always. Thanks for making time to hang out with us before flying back to LA. Hopefully it's an easy, relatively quick flight. Safe travels, RJ. Peace, love, bunnies, and hugs to you and all the rock stars. Appreciate that, Glenn. You are such a doll, and I appreciate your support in here. Now and forever, our favorite mascot. Also in the Streamlabs, Texas Teacher says, hey, Roxy, still clean and sober? Hell yeah, Texas Teacher. I was recording for the LGBT animated show all week or all weekend, 12-hour days. Now I'm dog tired at work trying to put in final exams. Just wanted to reach out to you, to wish you safety on your flight. And in a few days, I head off to the woods. Much love. Thanks, Texas Teacher. Keep us posted until you make your venture to the woods. Thank you for joining. I get what it's like to be dog tired. I feel that hardcore. I feel that hardcore, friend. Yeah, I get it. It's tough and exhausting. Just life in general during this time. Thank you guys to everybody who's joining me in the chat right now. Some shout outs in here as you guys are sending me really nice messages. Matt Link, Mohammed Belsin, Jake Yakavetta, Noah Denman, Ambling Soul, Randy Avnell, ZB, Matt Link, Lemmy Kilmister, John Bainbridge, Joseph Ashley, Miles R. What's up, Miles? Noah Denman, Red Dog, Haskell 420, The Third Turd, Spidey Sensei, Twinkle Star 86, Robert Turner, Demo Katabe, Wassim, Billy Atwood. Loving seeing some names that we haven't seen in a minute. Pink Sweets, Red Dog, Real Talk with Silos, Zeno Hour, Cap, Levi's, Page, Odd, all the people showing up. Ace Money, Daryl A. You guys are the shit. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Dead in a Glitch. What an interesting handle. Okay. Much love to all of you guys. Juan Mendez, all the people joining. Don't forget to like this video, to review it on Apple Podcasts. Can you guys tell I'm like emotionally fucking exhausted? I'm zoinked today. I'm totally zoinked. Let's get to a couple of different news topics before we do get out of here. And any Streamlabs that come in, we will go through as well. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, and also right here in the super chat. What accent is that? I don't know. Hopefully it's just not offensive to whoever I was just doing an accent for. Google had an outage today, and it was so wild to look at everybody's tweets. I mean, we are just so incredibly reliant on these devices. Like, it's weird because I come up in a generation, as a lot of you guys are similar age to me, where prior, I've lived in both times. I've lived in the time where Google did not exist, and I lived in the time when Google did exist. And I lived in a time prior to Gmail or to any of the things that we needed Google for. And it's just so crazy now that, like, it's not even entitlement, it's necessity. Like, when Google goes down, the thing that you think immediately is like, how do I do my work? How do I communicate with people? How am I going to figure this out? For me, it's my livelihood. If Gmail, YouTube, and Google are down, because those are all Google services, I am so motherfucking fucked. I can't do my job. If YouTube's down, I straight up can't make a living. If Gmail goes down, I can't communicate with half of my colleagues because I don't even have some people's phone numbers. If Google goes down, how am I supposed to Google all the random shit that I'm trying to Google in a day? Like, everything relies on this master beast, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't know how you guys feel. Let me know what you guys feel about this. But like, for me, when it went down, and I was just seeing, well, it was down for 30 minutes or an hour or something. It just was like, oh my God, if Google went down for a week, I would be at risk of not paying rent. Like, I would be in fucking trouble. I know a lot of you guys are the same way. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Technological dependence is a dangerous thing. Totally, Matt, but I'm completely technologically dependent, completely, to communicate with you guys, to all the things that I do. Daryl says my friend was marking master's papers on Google Drive when it went down. Yeah, every single person. Like, it's what we use for all of our stuff. Pink Sweet says, I was asleep, I guess. LOL. Well, then you didn't notice. But if you had been awake, you probably wouldn't have liked it very much. You should have a backup Twitch channel just in case for this happens. Moral, though, like, I don't know. What, for the one day? Or you think that there's possibility that this could happen for a longer period of time at some point? CeeLo says, was I the only one that thought my device got cut? No, it's tough times for everybody. I think a lot of people's initial reactions are like, fuck, did I pay for this? Did I do this? You could have a backup email account on Outlook. As I said that, did my internet cut out here? Are you guys still with me? Oh my God. That was ridiculous. I was talking about what life would be like without it, and it seems like I just like the wheel spun and then it was a whole thing. That was so weird. Are you guys still with me? Hopefully you are. You're here. It cut again. Cut out for a little. What's happening? The people hear me talking about Google. And then they're like, oh no, she's on to us. She knows what's happening. Well, hopefully you can hear and see me fine. I'll do the best I can. And we do not have much longer on here, so get in those Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, or right here in the super chat. Super chat. She's super chat there. Frozen, eyes closed. Really? Still? No way. Good now. No, you guys are saying good now. From Frozen, eyes closed, it's better than Frozen like cross-eyed or doing something bizarro. The internet didn't like you talking shit. I know, straight up, Hour. That's what happens. Schmominati strikes again. Could be. It's the Schmominati. Great job at Spectacular Roxy. Thank you, Randy. I talked all about that yesterday. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns about that, though, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. A lot of people have been talking about the name change, so it's an interesting tidbit. All right. Domestic box office. I can't believe that this is even really news, but I guess it is because movie theaters are just, it's upsetting. It's upsetting to look at. I feel awful for all people involved with this, and so many people in all different areas too. Like, it's not just the movie theater people that I feel bad for. I feel bad for so many fucking people in all different lines of work, including you guys and me guys. But the THR put out an article saying a sobering 2020 box office. And that it is. 2020 box office domestic revenue falls to 40-year low. Mid-December is usually a launching pad for Yuletide-fueled holiday blockbusters. This isn't the case this year as Hollywood and theater owners grapple with the ongoing COVID-19 crisis and a virtual 9-month standstill in moviegoing that will result in the worst showing for domestic ticket sales in at least 4 decades. That's from Pamela McClintock. Case in point, there were no new wide releases in North American box office over December 11th to the 13th weekend. Universal and DreamWorks Animation's The Croods, is that how you're saying this? Keep seeing it, but I'm not talking to people. Croods, A New Age, topped the chart for the 3rd consecutive weekend with a mere 3.2 million, a veritable fortune during the pandemic. Is that the word? Veritable. For a domestic total of 24.5 million. Preliminary estimates show North America movie ticket sales for 2020 inching towards 2.3 billion. That would be the lowest showing since the early 80s, if not the late 70s, and that's before adjusting for inflation. Totally wild. Nobody's surprised by this. Nobody sees these numbers and is like, how is it possible that 2020 is the lowest in 40 years? It just was sad to see. It was sad to see. Those numbers are fucking, such abysmal. I know that we're going to bounce back from this. I know that the movie theater industry is going to bounce back. I really believe that in my soul. But yeah, Aaron with the shock that's only a 40-year low, but that's because it's before adjusting for inflation. Think about that. It's fucking crazy. Insane. Shield fan, yes, we can see you. And it is sad. I agree. And you are here and you are part of the rock stars now. So thank you for contributing your thoughts. If they adjust for inflation, it's probably more like 60 years. I know. Brutal. Just effing brutal. It won't bounce back until 2022, sadly. I think that's probably accurate. But, time flies when you're having pandemic. So not true. Time moves so strangely during this time. It really, truly does. Going to the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Glenn Caesar says, much love, RJ. I'm sure it's sad leaving the house in Boston, but I'm super glad for you that you actually got to spend this time reconnecting with your past and building new memories with your dad, Jet, and Sky. Going home can be hard, but healing, very true. As always, I hope that we can all find and feel some joy in each of our days, our weeks, our months, and our years. Never forget, when it gets tough, even if we're by ourselves, we're not alone. The Rockstars and World Friends communities are here for you. Remember, everyone, you are kind, you are smart, you are important, you are worthy. Since it always deserves to be said, and because wearing my Smash-a-thon hoodie was a great reminder for me today, #SmashCancer. Hope Smets is doing well and continues to. Yeah, I hope so too. I will reach out to him again today. I'm rooting for Smets always so hard in every single situation. I love him. I love him so much, and he is such a fighter and amazing. So I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on with him. Glenn Caesar also said, and since for some unbelievable reason it still needs to be said, I know it's crazy, Glenn. Miles Cosgrove, Brett Hankinson, Jonathan Mattingly arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, all three of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Yeah, Glenn, I concur. And thanks for keeping us on point and on track and always reminding us to say the things that truly matter. I can't even believe where we're at. I didn't even really, not that this is related to that, but I guess in some ways, just like justice wise, it is. Roxy with her words today, guys. Roxy with her words today. It's like pulling teeth / like trying to rip something out of her. It's unbelievable. I didn't talk about Brandon Bernard on the show. I don't think at all. It's hard for me to remember whether I've just been talking about it in life or if I mentioned it on the show at all, but I don't think I did. And so on the same note of justice and criminal justice and all those things, I don't know if you guys kept up with this story. It was a really, really fucking upsetting story. And the only reason I knew about the story was Kim Kardashian, which really is disgusting that that's the only reason I knew about it. Not disgusting of Kim Kardashian, disgusting of me and society that like this was not something that I was even aware of. But Brandon Bernard, who was sentenced to the death penalty, who died last week or was executed last week. This was like fucking atrocious. And what the Trump administration is doing right now, pushing through the death penalty on so many inmates, and by so many, I think it was like 9 or 12 that are supposed to go through it by the end of the year, is an abomination of power and a disgusting choice. So for those, send bunnies in here if you know about the Brandon story, and if you don't know about the Brandon story, then send hearts, and I can kind of fill you guys in as we are getting out of here. It's a random thing to throw in now, but just because we were talking about Brett Hankinson, Miles Cosgrove, Jonathan Mattingly arresting the cops that killed Breonna Taylor, just thinking about how much work we still have to do in every single freaking area. Zeno Hour sending bunnies, Stormy Wood sending bunnies, Celos and Simply Emily sending hearts. Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know, Brandon Bernard was part of he was 40 years old, and he was part of a murder when he was I believe he was 18. He had just turned 18, and there were 4 people who were part of it, and it was a situation gone very, very wrong, and absolutely it was justified that he went to prison. But the person who actually murdered people got the death penalty and was killed a couple years ago. Bernard did not actually murder anybody, but was part of the murders, and the 2 other people who were part of the murders were a year or 2 younger than him, so that they were still legally not adults. And it ended up that Kim Kardashian, who's been on this social justice and racial justice reform kick where she is doing actually a lot of good, which is why I do have a lot of respect for her, she has been bringing to light this story, and they like rushed his execution during this time. And he was a kid. He was, I guess legally not, but he was 18 years old. He has been on death row and in prison now for, I think it was 21 or 22 years, and was the youngest person to be convicted to get the death sentence in I think ever. I don't know if that's the right statistic, so don't quote me on this. But apparently over the last 21, 22 years, he has like completely reformed his life and his way, and none of that is excusing what he did when he was younger. But to not give him even a life sentence in prison or anything like that, the two people that were a year or two younger than him are already out of prison, and they did the exact same thing that he had done. If we're going to give him a life sentence, that is one thing. He didn't take a life, but he was a part of something that took a life. But to execute him, a lot of people are just fucking furious, and it was horrific. And his final statement was just like, "I'm so sorry," and I guess I can kind of just leave it at that. And he apologized to the family, but the family seemed to want the execution, and Trump pushed it forward. It was just awful. So I know that a lot of this story is coming out left and right because I'm all over the place today, but look into it. It's worth your time. And just another example of how our justice system is corrupt and fucked and doesn't make any sense. And so we don't play by the same rules for everybody. And it's just brutal. Yeah. Stormy says, I agree the death penalty should be abolished. Just do life sentences. It just seems so wild and wrong to me, and we get it wrong. What do we learn from Just Mercy? 1 out of 9 times since we've been giving the death sentence, we've later found out that 1 out of 9 people that we executed was innocent. I mean, it's either 1 out of 9 or 1 out of 11. It's just way too high of a statistic. Like, to have your life taken and then you didn't even do anything for some people. And I'm not saying that he didn't do anything, but he didn't actually even commit the murder. Just seems like an antiquated system and so fucked up. We can spend another show talking about this entire situation. I know Steph Sabra has a lot of thoughts on it as well. Gregory says I got to read into it. Yeah, absolutely. Don't take my word for anything. Look into the situation and make up your own minds. Just bringing it to light a little bit here. I don't know how anyone can agree a death sentence is simply Emily. Yeah, it's tough. If there's a chance we're killing innocent people, then you don't do it. It's not the correct thing for a civilized society to do. Trump still wants the Central Park 5 executed. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. All right, guys, we are going to get out of here because I got to go catch this plane. But thank you guys so much for joining me today live at the Roxy. I will be back tomorrow live at the Roxy, as I am here every single day. And I will also be on SEN tomorrow. So don't you worry, babes. Don't you worry. For those of you guys who haven't bought the calendar yet, I know we said that the cutoff is last night, but I also know we haven't placed the order yet. So if you get those orders in the next 5 minutes, then you should be safe. That's streamlabs.com/theworldgirls. $35 for the calendar, $65 for a signed calendar. Make sure you send your name and your address. Last call. And I am really grateful for you guys. I wouldn't have been able to do this home trip without you guys. Thank you for being here with me every single day. I think that we're on what are we at, Glenn? Is it 274? Where are we at? The other day when I asked Glenn, Rob Fishbeck responded, but he gave me the wrong count. So now I only trust Glenn with the date count. He's the only counter. He'll let us know. I will see you guys very soon. By tomorrow. I'm losing my mind a little bit. 274. He says 274. Wow, tomorrow's 275. Damn, that's a big one. Let's do something fun. I'll figure it out. Much love, homies. Put down your toilet seat and lids. Wish me a safe flight. Make your beds. Stay safe. Stay sane. Reach out to those who you think need a little extra support. It's been a really tough week for me. I know that it's been a really tough week for a lot of other people. If you're watching this after the fact, please thumbs up this video. Leave a comment. It helps with the algorithm. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Strive. You can give that little extra support, and I'll see you tomorrow live at the Roxy. Bye from Boston.